loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well on for tomorrow. Now we go make salute.
Yes, family, welcome back to yet another very important segment where they come through the Talking Point platform. My name is Mohamed Kagbo, and today is the 18th of December 2021. We get interesting issues there. The first one first, the president, Julius Maada Bio, don't fly go na Turkey. And this, now the third time this, where Turkey, they invite the 16 African countries in Africa for go join. What in this mean for Salon? What in this mean for African continent as a whole? Now we can get the details. And of course, based on this, J don't pull a new song regarding Maada in Fly One. Again, the second one, we talk about the audit report, where Africanist Press don't summarize for we 10 key points then we're missing. We're very, very important for there we pay attention on this. All these and more, you say get the opportunity for send me text message, and this program they can both Facebook Live and as well as YouTube. On YouTube, you can check out now TPP Leon, where they can shortly and analyze the rest of the work.
Talking Point platform for news every day now we country salute. For education, entertainment, political affairs, TV. We got enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit TV.
Yes, family, without waste time, we go first to the first item. Of course, President Bio don't jet in na Turkey. And this now the third time this way Turkey they invite 16 African countries them for make them get a summit where go deepen the economic and military ties. Now, when I understand the last time again, this very President Recep Erdoğan, we don't make a clear say in the support Africa for let Africa get a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council, because more than 1 billion, 1.3 billion people are not get representative, will not get nobody as real person where go talk for we. So Turkey now one very strong military as well as economic power house within Asia and EU. You know, Turkey they between them two lines in there. Although of course they try for move inwardly in Europe, but in terms of military, in terms of economic might, Turkey is very strong. So then they try to do this particular sort of like partnership. We are in, then we bring investors, them both of the country and the continent, then go benefit. But again, the point is where we concerned about the way we presidents they take every kind of invitation. It make the thing become so funny that I mean, in order to even take we Sierra Leonean as any serious people, because the last time there was a talk when a status where completely they tell people, I mean, this is not the first president that they see the challenge electorate. I mean, what in majority of people and no want now they come out now they say I like on a top pass, so me I continue to fly. I mean, Lord, we just play for now. Lord, we remind you now. And why this very important for we bring that camp, because we get an ambassador, we get dignitaries, we get representatives in Turkey. Not to look out of 54 countries and only 16 choose for go. But I don't know why we president each and every opportunity we get for traveling at the continent travel. Listen,
gentlemen, I they continue for flying.
Yeah, so this now the I mean you said this now. The president not take Salon people anything. because when you look at the amount of money where this per diem, a wealth, ministers, all dignitaries and they go and therefore pay is huge. No wonder the audit service report a point very huge amount of money will come up from the office of the president will disappear because of them past mark travel here. Now, I mean, we don't they talk this and we don't almost like people are not tired with this particular concept of the president having to travel every fortnightly, every 2-3 weeks. The president he just come out Abuja into this year. He come in RSF, he didn't Turkey. What is the role of the ministers, the foreign dignitaries, and way I mean the ambassadors and the high commissioners that they send? What's not their role? What's not their role? Where the president, I mean, this don't clear analysis. It's not about the people of Sierra Leone anymore. This is about self. Because the president said now the only way this will able to take Sierra Leone money out of the country without probably the questioner. Now, when they went for questioner, the then auditor general, when Taylor Pierce, they end up for suspender because the lady wasn't doing work based on the NTDR, the investigation. It led to the point that most of the recipients with them alleged say them doing them boku travel here. They're not telling, but again, no, the second topic, second item we'll go for can discuss because Africanist press point very detailed how much money actually lost. Now play for now this interesting song by LJ regarding the power in Tabuan.
Yo, we're back. Turn me up on this. Turn me up. Woo! When money not there, people go doubt you. Yeah. People go gather and talk about you. Yeah. Enemies go come about you. Yeah. Even your best friend go come hard you. But I believe that I can fly like water. I could receive it from the Most High. Jah Rastafari, blessings from God, not to shop. Me go run, go by, But I believe that I can fly like water. I could receive it from the Most High. Jah Rastafari, blessings from God, not to shop. Me go run, go by, But each and every day we dey pray for all the man that will say goodbye. Say now waiting day, they not do Jesus. But now waiting day, we for shit between us. Enemies want split you like a scissors. Jealousy and the hates they can be us. Now waiting day, they not do Jesus. But now waiting day, we for shit between us. Enemies want split you like a scissors. But the jealousy and hates they can be us. Say from all night to now, man still the work hard, but gotta go make me enemies them bow. All them wish style, bad mind, try to put me down, but the other say it no go allow. But each and every day, we dey pray for all the man that will say goodbye. Say where the knock, we go open. They rush for the center, try to put me down, me spot to rush for the center. Thank you God for shining my eyes. All of this and the hints, no reply. Like murder, like murder. Life go better and sweet. They kept no snitch. Allow now the crew. They said no. Life go better and sweet. They kept no snitch. Allow now the crew. They said no. Like murder.
All right, Fambule, that now just recent music we LJ do regarding when this is connected with the power infrequent travel, this you don't gains everybody now. You don't gains people there. And the thing where at people, even some of we are the fact that they come back plain, they say, care. And if people want to know the truth, it will continue for fly. This is just the first democratic president for challenge electorate, for challenge voters. All right, number 2023 people will make up their mind and decide, yes, indeed, would I get the power, real one. Let's move to the second item on the list. Now, we know the audit service in role, how critical when it comes to transparency, accountability, and good governance. The audit service was established by an act of parliament for make at least we get financial discipline for run the country. Why? Because no one wouldn't give A money, A no able account for it. Then give B money, able account for it. Then give C money. Financial discipline control, because if you run a business, if you do anything, if control not there on that business day, that business is not going to be profitable. But over the years, we don't see the role of the audit service. Now, recently, just few weeks towards the releasing of the 2020 audit report, we get a bombshell shocking news where the president suspend Lara Taylor and deputy indefinitely pending investigation on unprofessional misconduct. Now, when immediately after that, they appoint another person for the job, and finally the audit 2020 report was tabled in 2 days here in the parliament. But it shocks Salon people because first, waiting come out 113 billion leons in the scene, missing, or now in document not there for prove how they use this money. But however, we get people where we don't question. In fact, some of you don't even question the fact that why the president no wait after the audit service report come out before probably one suspender, which means there is some kind of yuki they under. People begin to defend answers why the president for taking drastic action for suspend the audit service, the auditor, just because they're just few weeks towards that. And the speculation, if you like say, right, Africanist press don't go far and investigate and then discover, say, the current audit report was doctored. In other words, the editor. They remove the prepared one where Lara Taylor Pierce and in deputy and in colleagues and do not to in them present to parliament. Now, what do we get right now? 113 billion now missing. But according to Africanist press, this a quadruple, not about 4 times. Now, if you check 113 times 4, they give you 452 billion loans now in loss, or now no account for, or proper documentation no come up for. Now, let we do the summary now, because I want ourselves follow this. Let try for share the screen. Probably some of you now who don't see this, or some of you don't see it. Waiting Africanist press put, and this just mind blowing for we as Sierra Leonean. We don't know side would they move from this particular. Take a look at this. If you see on my screen, on my screen, Africanist press puts 10 summarized points there. Now, then compare the 2021 and the 2020, then try for summarize. First thing for the 2020 audit report, the information where they record it completely not be the same with what actually the auditor puts. Now, then get some MDAs there, that is ministry, departments, agencies there, where they send letters there regarding this one where they not able to respond, not able to put out. Now, one of the things again where the Africanist press point out that the details of major cash losses, irregularities, expenditures, public debt, and other financial misstatements, the omitter during this particular audits with them. Audit reports with them just table in a parliament, then completely edit according to Africanist press. And again, Africanist press then continue for say, then discover say more than 50% of the evidence on the financial irregularity we then discover from the financial year for 2021, the audit service, they also omitter, they remove the materials and they left it out because these include transactions where they not put any evidence, no paperwork, no day for proven. I mean, receipt, no day for dubious procurement activities and other financial irregularities. Number 4, now the audits, I mean, Africanist Press say, I mean, the missing details, they include, if you then check everything, this amount will be 4 times, just like we mentioned, 452 billion loans. Now, be the actual audit report where Lara Taylor and deputy be made. No wonder where the president take a drastic action for suspender. Because imagine, even when a 113 billion is shake the country, because we talk about austerity, we talk about money no for 113 billion we able account for it. So imagine if the actual audit service report become on when a 452 billion loans according to Africanist Press, this for don't shake the country. So President Bio take the action. He say no. I mean, this I will play with the constitution. I will play with the people in mind. I don't care. And let's look at some of the points there. Now, the final audit report, they talk about only 100 and if you then check everything, like 113 billion. Now, again, there are key areas and key ministries where they're not able actually mention self, then pull it out. Now, among this, the overall information and the nature of the irregularities, 1, the NDSN in question are the Petroleum Directorate, the National Social Security and Insurance Trust, where we can call NASIT, the Sierra Leone Housing Corporation, SALOC, the National Mineral Agency, the NMA, the Sierra Leone Maritime Administration, that we call SLIMA, and others, they remove them because, I mean, these are very, very highly politically connected institutions, because the names of those people who they man at top brass and at the SLPP, they're very close to the president. So if those names were revealed, probably Sierra Leonean will take to the streets. In fact, according to Africanist Press, NASIT alone, more than 60 billion loans was missing. More than 60 billion loans, so no record that. Because let me just take some of the facts here I would mention. Now, the Africanist Press notes say NASIT the record 631 billion 293 million 248,084 cents, which is like now $63 million in 2019, whereas the NASIT, the financial statement shows 570 billion 363 million 752,136 cents, with like $57.6 million. When if you check the difference now, 60 billion euros, we're now over $6 million now gets lost, or we not get account for it. We don't get any clear evidence or reasons why their money are for just loss. I mean, Salon, we in a very tense state. We're in a state of, I mean, past God probably get for using mercy and miracle for intervene. If money like that, these are the people when they kind of power, they can't talk about fighting corruption, fighting. I mean, they come with a crusade. People and support, people and buy the other. Some of who support, some of we don't feel like we are being used. We feel like they use we because we were back in with the social media. They support anti-corruption movement. We support about the commission of inquiry. Always talking, they not knowing that these people have different agenda, contrary to waiting. Probably you go wish for a country. Now we don't can say these are people that they're not fit for rule of the country. In fact, even the commission of inquiry wouldn't set, according to the audit general, there is huge amount of money where they no account for, we therefore account. Now, when it comes to the office of the president, there's huge amount of money we lost. We don't even record everything. Now, I mean, some of them don't listen this, but don't bring a canto now. Why? Because we always keep the record here. If it's nice and important for them, when they listen to this. Let us see if we play for this record where the Minister of Information so already defend the president regarding the audit report. One moment, let me bring a counter now. Some of them don't see and some of them don't see it, but we go make sure we counter for those people or the benefits of those people. We know watch it. Let me try for Hamilton quickly. All right. Okay. I'll counter quickly.
Here on Focus, the controversial audit of Sierra Leone's finances. The audit service is releasing its annual report, and it does not make for pretty reading for a government that has boasted that it is serious in the fight against mismanagement and corruption. It comes just after the suspension of the country's respected Auditor General, Lara Taylor Pierce, who authored the report. The government defended her suspension, but it raised the alarm for professionals within the country and further afield. From Freetown, Umaru Fofana has details.
The 562-page document is a damning report by all standards. The auditors have given a qualified opinion, which means an unsatisfactory fiscal management performance last year. The report reads that the fish in the country's waters are being misappropriated. The prison inmates are victims of mismanagement. Hard-working university students are overtaken by those who can afford to bribe lecturers, and the rest of mankind are starved off by people who have their hands on the till. The roots of the alleged malfeasance seem deep and the branches wide. The reports found across virtually all public enterprises and commissions that there were irregularities in taxation, inventory, and unretired expenditure. Some payments could not be accounted for. These alleged irregularities amount to nearly $4 million. Additionally, cash losses also account for more than $11 million, enough to finance the procurement of free healthcare drugs and other essential medical supplies for the entire country, as well as cover half of the budget to feed children in schools next year. Crucially, it takes a deep dive into the office of the president, especially on overseas travels involving the first family. Impressed for various travels, the audit says, was not properly retired. It calls for the monies to be paid back to the state, not least because the retirement receipts were marred by what the report calls discrepancies, inaccuracies, and inconsistencies. So what does the government say in reaction to the overall audit report? Mohammed Rahman Suare is a government spokesman.
We just received the audit report yesterday. We are studying it. And as a government which has a strong foundation of transparency and accountability, we will act on all legitimate recommendations.
What this report shows is clearly, it undermines that track record which you are emphasizing on.
This report is very sensational. I have seen amounts allegedly not accounted for, which are now being mistaken for amounts that have been embezzled. At the time the auditors visited, some of the documents held by some vote controllers were not available at the time. Nobody is a criminal yet. The audit is a process. People still have time to establish their reputation, to clear their names, and to establish the facts as they are.
It doesn't put the presidency in a good light in terms of giving account for fiscal goings-on there.
The president does not handle resources. So there are people responsible for managing resources in the presidency. As long as there are legitimate allegations ascertained by the audit report, appropriate actions will be taken to ensure restitution, to ensure that these situations are remedied.
All right, Fambula, that was Umar Fofana. We just wrap up there with the Minister of Information. Now, the audit reports don't disgrace the government because we all don't see this now 12 months, not to 2021 report. Then today's year, that was Thursday, we bring a parliamentarian, C4C, Sir Charles will be there with we the talk say. The reports now 12 months. Now, the Minister of Information, they say the time where the audit asks for certain receipts them they'll not be able to prepare. And now 12 months, imagine from January to December. This now 2020, not to 2021, though. Still receipts not there. Still discrepancies and they still we don't know how. I mean, these are all some of the things they use talk, and the president boldly they talk say in flight nobody no get for Ebola now. He talk them clearly, we just don't play the clip regarding that. And as we talk so right now, it ain't talking, and this is why we should say Salon people and this time around. I mean, if we vote based on we tribes, based on a region, believe me, the sufferness will taste even more than that. Yeah, this one they come up from Abdul Jallo. We see our country is finished. Yeah, guys, keep on bringing your text. I mean, this now we all know facts. We they play we own part or bring down some of this information. It left on for learn digest this information, process and make an informed decision. Learn know exactly which side we country they go. Mind you, we not get no other place what they call past salon. If salon suite, now we all own, now we all will enjoy. If salon day in a bad state like I did, so believe me, now we they suffer. Unless we put salon first, unless we forget about this party business. This time me party, I go protect the elected they do bad. This time me own tribe person. This now me own region. I mean, these are the things. I mean, if you check abroad, you check now the advanced countries there. These are the things that would affect very hard and put behind them back, then put national interests. Name it, they go before. Salon now roughly 7 million. We not get much. I mean, for talk about for say we population too much. And if you look at, I mean, the way God bless we get very close to the Atlantic Ocean. We get abundant sunshine. We get fertile sun. We get fertile soil. Forget about the minerals. I know they even talk about the minerals. Now we just look at them 3 components here. We got give it for nothing. Fertile soil, we get abundant rain with the camp, we get abundant sunshine, we are very close to the Atlantic Ocean, like paradise on earth. Country them they not get them here, but then develop. Look like them Dubai. 20 years ago, Dubai now like a village. Today, everybody want go there. I mean, just because the leadership, it's about the leadership, it's about country first, it's about loving your country more than your party. It's about loving the country more than your tribesmen, doing the right thing, common sense, good governance, transparency, support the people there. I mean, these are the basic tenets, principles where I feel say any leader will truly want to develop the country they for focus on, but we not see much. It's so sorry, and we don't got time for talk. We continue for bring cancer on the issues there. And no say salon people need to wake up, salon people need to learn, salon people need to mature in terms of thinking. I believe say the age of technology they can help. It help for let people at this point analyze better and know exactly what's good for the country. So until then, my name is Mohamed Kabo. We'll try for probably next week. We invite some parliamentarians and back here for NSF can throw light on this audit report, which they make up on them. We go update to now. We'll give the names of the parliamentarians and we hopefully will expect from them show up on the show by next week. Until then, bye bye.
Talking point platform for news every day now we can't